Kieran here, doing another video. I just did a vinyl video, but I have these stacks of CDs I'm trying to transfer into the other room, but I keep saying I'm going to get through them for this jazz albums I love on CD. And Paul, what's your name? BarakaPDub's, I think. You put out a video that I really enjoyed about Keepnews passing away, which I didn't enjoy to hear that, but I was sad to hear that, but I enjoyed your video. I didn't know he had passed away, and that's sad. But I enjoyed the records you showed. So, and you said to show what people have on Riverside. I don't have much. I don't have any LPs, I don't think. But I have CDs, so it fit in with this kind of theme of this series I've been doing of CDs that I would like on vinyl. So one of the videos that I've been planning to do, I had a pile of my Monk, Thelonious Monk and Charles Mingus albums. And since there's a couple Monk ones on Riverside, and the other Riverside albums I don't have multiple from each artist, so I just stacked those on to the pile here. So I'm going to start with the Riverside, which is only a handful. Then I'll do the Monk and the Mingus. So on Riverside, I have Everybody Dig Bill Evans. I'm not a huge Bill Evans guy. I know you mentioned it, Paul. I do have a bunch of his albums. The first one I got, I think, was You Must Believe It's Spring or something with Spring. I can't remember what it's called, which is later in the 70s. I have a Live at Montreux one, but this is nice. Everybody Digs Bill Evans. This is an earlier one from 58. And I like that, this cover. So this is, like I said, the Keepnews collection. So instead of the blue notes that says Rudy Van Gelder edition, this is the Keepnews collection. They kind of did the same thing. This is from 58. Everybody Digs Bill Evans. Great album. Would love to find that on vinyl. Next one, I actually did see this on vinyl in the fall, and it wasn't expensive, $20, but an original. But it was too crackly. Couldn't do it, even though I really liked the album. And it is Nat Adderley. So some soulful cornet playing. A pianist that I love, Bobby Timmons. So Work Song on Riverside, Nat Adderley. You have Wes Montgomery on guitar, Bobby Timmons, Percy Heath, and Sam Jones. I really enjoy this. Might not be everybody's bag, but this is from 1960. And that's what these are what the reissue Keepnews collection CDs look like. So Nat Adderley, Work Song on Riverside. Another Riverside LP, Chet Baker, someone I enjoy. Some kind of cool jazz. Chet. It's very accessible jazz for people to listen to. And on this you have Chet Baker, Pepper Adams, Herbie Mann on flute, Kenny Burrell on guitar, Bill Evans on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, as well as Connie Kay and Philly Joe Jones on drums, or Philly Joe Jones on drums. So that is Chet on Riverside from 59. This one you showed, Paul, Caravan, Art Blakey, and I commented on your video saying I think it was an original that I passed up of this, but I wasn't sure, and I kind of regret it. It said stereo printed on it, and then there was a mono sticker, which I wasn't sure which one I wanted, but it was from 62, and I have to go back and look what the 62 label would have looked like, but it might have been an early reissue, because I think it was that kind of solid tealy green type thing, and I don't know what the label looked like in 62. I know the late 50s were kind of that, I know what that looks like, but so I'll have to go back. And this is Curtis, you mentioned, Curtis Fuller, Freddie Hubbard, Wayne Shorter, Cedar Walton, Reggie Workman. Great Jazz Messengers album. Heavy hitting. Two more Riversides that I just forgot, so I'm reshooting this. I'm going to add it in. It'll be pretty random, but is another Adderley, but the other brother. Take this out. It's darker now. Cannonball Adderley Quartet in San Francisco. So this is with his brother Nat Adderley on cornet, Bobby Timmons on piano, Sam Jones on bass, and Louis Hayes on drums. And this is, what year is this from? This is another good one though, from 59. And I also have Blue Mitchell, who I really like, Blue Soul, on Riverside. And this is from 59 as well. You have Curtis Fuller, Jimmy Heath, Wynton Kelly, Sam Jones, and Philly Joe Jones. It's a good one if you like that soulful jazz. Blue soul. Cool. So that's it for my Riverside, except for the couple Monk ones that I have. So I have Thelonious Monk. Oh, this is not Riverside. That's Prestige. Oh, so I'll show that after. Do I have? Yeah, 2 Riverside. So I have Thelonious Monk plays Duke Ellington. And I've been reading this slowly. I read a little bit here and there, the Thelonious Monk biography. Sorry, my brain's somewhere else. And it's interesting to hear about the process of making these albums and when they got made and why they got made. And man, he was at this time still really struggling in his career. It took him a long time, and he didn't get recognition until he was late 30s or in his early 40s. I mean, he had recognition, but he was struggling and poor and went through a lot of problems until he really kind of made it over the hump. And I'm just kind of at that point in the book where he's just he just got his cabaret card back, because for years he didn't have his cabaret card, so he wasn't able to get steady work, and he had kind of built a reputation for himself as a younger musician, being unreliable, so people didn't want to hire him. And it's a good read, the Thelonious Monk one, if you want to check that out. So this is plays Ellington. He's doing all Ellington songs with Oscar Pettiford on bass and Kenny Clark on drums. And then you showed this one, Paul. Brilliant Corners, considered some of his best work. Not my favorite either, but it is a great album. And he just recorded this one, actually, at where I'm at in the book. You have Max Roach on drums, Oscar Pettiford, Sonny Rollins on tenor saxophone, and Ernie Henry on alto sax. So this is from 56, so it's some earlier stuff. And you also have Clark Terry on some songs and Paul Chambers on another song. Classic. This is I would recommend this in the Jazz Starter Kit. Probably worth checking that out, to check out some Monk. And then I have some Monk on Prestige. Thelonious Monk. Here he plays with Gary Mapp, Percy Heath, Art Blakey, or Max Roach. And this is from 52 and 54, so some early stuff on Prestige. One more little add-on I figured I'd add in because it's appropriate, is that on my blog that I don't really use too much, but that I share on here, NeedleGroove.com. Last week, I think it was, my brother-in-law actually did a write-up for me, a guest post on a Thelonious Monk album on Riverside, which I bought for him as a gift, and he absolutely loved. And it's the Monk and Mulligan, or Mulligan and Monk LP on Riverside from the late 50s. And he's a writer, actually, so it's a great write-up, kind of in the liner note style. So I'd appreciate if you guys check that out and leave a comment on that. Let me know what you think. So if you're into Riverside and Thelonious Monk, check it out on NeedleGroove.com. I'll put the link down below. Now back to your regular scheduled program. And the rest of my Monk here, I have, this is the early stuff, The Genius of Modern Music on Blue Note. I don't know how these were originally issued. I'm imagining maybe some 10-inch stuff. But so this is volume 1 and 2. This is his early recordings for Blue Note. I think his first recordings. And if you have Max Roach on some, Art Blakey, Milt Jackson, Sahib Shihab, Lou Donaldson, Kenny Dorham. So all those guys, a lot of Danny Quebec West, who I'm assuming is Ike Quebec. Lots of Art Blakey. It's different. Not my favorite type of jazz, but it's kind of, you gotta listen to it. You gotta know where the music came from. It's kind of the beginning. And my favorite, which I do have on vinyl, Monk's Dream. This is definitely, I put in my top 10 of this period of Jazz Starter Kit. If you're getting into jazz, get this one. If you don't know it, stop waiting, just get it right now. So that's on Columbia. And then I have Solo Monk. Love this cover. Sorry for the reflection, it's getting dark here. You have this light shining off my bald head. Monk. This way. This one. which I could have bought for, it was 30 bucks on LP, but I didn't. I'll get it one day for cheaper. Love that cover. Great, great artwork. And then you have this classic cover on Columbia. I would love to get this one. Thelonious Monk, Underground. Just a hot mess in there. He has a gun on him and everything. So that's it for the Monk CDs. And I have a few Mingus ones. And Charles Mingus is, I mean, as well as Monk, they're so unique and different. As character-wise and music-wise, definitely two of my favorites. So Mingus, I have a bunch. I've started collecting a bunch of Mingus, as I've shown in my vinyl videos. If you've been watching, whenever I see it, I pick them up. But there's a few I don't have. Well, there's more than a few I don't have, but some of the ones I have on CD, which are my favorites, and I don't have. So one that I love, Impulse Records. I would love to get this, The Black Saint, The Sinner Lady. This is awesome stuff. Much easier to show these cardboard sleeves. So, oh, I bought this one used. I didn't even know that. Huh. So, if you don't know this, which I'm sure you do, check it out. Charles Mingus. Love this on Impulse. Mingus I Am. Another classic on Columbia. Love that. And probably my favorite, which is not necessarily his best, but I love the feel and the soul of it the best, is Blues and Roots. This is on Atlantic. I don't own any original like black label Atlantics, but I would sure like to. Would love to find a copy of this, even an early 60s copy if it's not first pressing. And here you have Jackie McLean and John Handy, Booker Irving, Pepper Adams, Horace Parlin and Mal Waldron on exchanging on piano, Danny Richmond, and then a couple people on trombones. I love this music, man. Wednesday Night, Prayer Meeting, Crying Blues, Moaning, Tensions, My Jelly Roll Soul, E's Flat, Oz Flat 2. This is the shit. And another one. This one, what label was this on? Blue Note. Wow, looks completely different. There you go. It's on Blue Note. And this is kind of some heavy hitters meeting up. Charles Mingus, Duke Ellington, and Max Roach. It was under Duke Ellington's name, but that's Money Jungle. Awesome cover. And I recently bought a book this week, actually. I just received it. I haven't started it yet. And it's Charles Mingus's autobiography. And I've heard awesome things about this from what I've read and someone at the record store. This is supposed to be one of the best jazz autobiographies there are. And I'm really looking forward to reading this based on just, what I've heard and what I kind of already know about Charles Mingus's character. And apparently you get some really good stories, some wild stuff that happened in his career. So check that out if you're interested. Charles Mingus, Beneath the Underdog. So that's it. Shout out to Paul. And I'll put a link to his video if you haven't seen it in the down below. So feel free to leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Peace.